What's up, ladies and gents? I'm your host, Understrainer1, and today I want to talk about what makes me so excited for Starfield. So, everyone that's been subscribed on this channel, if you've been here for a long time, you know how important just exploration, history, space, those types of things motivate me in everything that I do. You know, ever since I was a little kid, I've always wanted to be an astronaut, and because I'm legally blind in my right eye, of course, I can never follow that dream. So we have to live it out through video games and movies and TV and all that kind of stuff. And as much as I wish I could have grown up, you know, having that chance of being an astronaut or doing that kind of thing, we get to live it every day in today's modern society of video games. And they've come a long way since when I first started back with Atari back in the 80s. So why I'm excited for Starfield is pretty simple. It's that love of exploration, the feeling of going where no man has gone before, the feeling of just doing whatever you want, of being your own, you know, captain of a ship. You know, Star Trek, Star Wars, all those things are what I grew up on and absolutely love. And this is the game that is going to provide us with that openness to explore, set in an RPG type of environment, a little different than, say, Star Citizen, which is another game that I back, which is obviously going to be an amazing game too when it finally does come out. And that game is probably going to set some trends even more so than Starfield. However, they are two different types of game. One is a single player kind of story RPG, where the other game is kind of this open MMOR, or not even really an RPG, but just like an MMO. However, they do have the Squadron 42, which is going to be their single player version. But this is something I think a little different, right? As much as I love Star Citizen, the fact that Starfield gives us somewhat of an experience that is tailored to more arcadey as opposed to Star Citizen, which is more in the sense of trying to do everything right in a realistic way. You have to eat, you know, and that kind of thing. You know, there's certain things you have to do. It's more of that survival type of gameplay. However, with Starfield, it's an RPG at its heart, right? This is made from Bethesda. Obviously, they have made some amazing games. The ones that I remember playing, Morrowind, of course, Oblivion, Skyrim. Never really played the Fallout series. I could never really get into it. But I absolutely 100% loved. Probably Oblivion is my favorite so far of all of the Bethesda games. And, you know, some people like different games. Some people say Fallout's their favorite series, but for me, Oblivion, because I remember just spending hours and hours playing Oblivion back when that came out in 2006. So what I'm excited about is just the prospect of doing what you want. Being a bounty hunter, right? Maybe go mining. Create some, you know, create a place for you to live, a place for you to farm materials, you know, like carve your own space in this entire universe, in the Starfield universe. And what they've done here is they've taken little bits from different genres of games and put it all into one. Like, say, a lot of people are probably not going to like the fact that this specific game doesn't have full-on, like, control of your spaceship, right? You can't go to a planet and fly around the planet. You know, there are no vehicles when you're on the planet. The only thing you have is yourself and your kind of your jump boost. That's about it. So a lot of people are going to bring down and say, oh, you know, you're not going to be able to explore as much. And I'm not really that upset about that, because for one, if I want that, I've got it in Star Citizen. And I can also say that in Star Citizen, it's only fun for a while, man. It's still fun to go from space to fly into the atmosphere, go down there, land on the planet, and do all that stuff, just like it's fun in No Man's Sky, right? But those are different games, right? It's hard for me to compare Starfield with Star Citizen in a way, because they're completely made different. They're different experiences. So you can't go into this game and then be disappointed because there's no Land Rovers, or there's no, you know, flying seamlessly from space to planet. You know, you're going to have a load screen every time you go. However, we just did learn that you're going to be able to literally travel the entire planet on foot if you want. I don't see the reason that you would ever want to do so. You don't do it in Star Citizen. I mean, you might take your rover out for a little bit just to see some of the things, but there's nothing in the environment that gives you a reason to explore the planet. Maybe there will be later, but right now there's not in Star Citizen, so I can't use that as a reason for me not to like Starfield. Also in Starfield, you're not going to be able to, say, go from planet to planet while traveling in real time. You're going to essentially, pick a point on the map or whatever, and then you'll travel from planet to planet, and then you have free reign of that area around the planet, obviously, to travel to. So it's a different game. It's a faster paced game. It's not going for realism per se. It's going for fun. It's going for what can we do to keep the player immersed and wanting to be in this universe and in this world. And I think they did a smart thing with that, because they knew, okay, this is what we're going to have to do in order for the character, the player, to have as much fun, not get bored, not get upset because of how long it takes to get one thing. That's something that Star Citizen really hasn't figured out yet. As much as we love being able to travel from moon to whatever and using quantum and fast travel and all that kind of stuff to get there, but it still takes a little bit of time. Granted, if you're in the simulation type of aspect, then that's really good for you. But if you're there's so many other kinds of players that Bethesda has to appeal to. This is a mass market game and they want to appeal to everyone, so I totally get it. I was not a fan of Fallout 4, and I'll be honest with you. Like, I played a little bit of Fallout 4. It just wasn't my kind of game. I didn't like really a lot from it. I thought the gunplay wasn't very fun. Fallout 3, I kind of liked the gunplay in that game, the VAT system and all that stuff, but in the end, it just wasn't a game for me. I liked Skyrim because medieval swords and all that stuff, and it's a part of history that I really, really enjoy. And that's what made it so much fun to me. Whereas with Starfield, this is like a game that I think could possibly be, if it ends up being as good as I hope it can be, this is the game that could possibly be my game of a lifetime. Even though it doesn't have the seamless travel and other methods of travel and stuff like that, that's okay. This can still be that for me, because I'm not really a big multiplayer gamer. I think most people on this channel know that I prefer to either play by myself or play single player story-driven games, because I just like to be sucked into a different world and just be myself. I guess you could say I'm an introvert in a lot of ways. So this is the perfect game for us introverts that necessarily don't like to get out of the house a lot. And this is a chance for me to feel like I'm getting out of the house and I'm reaching the stars like I've always wanted to. So some of the big aspects I've really enjoyed so far from all of the gameplay that we've seen, and I've even seen the leaked footage. I know I shouldn't see it because it spoils things, whatever, but it was just the first 40 minutes that I saw, literally about the first 12 minutes, but the guy who played it sucked so bad. Which is usually how it goes. Why is it that every time a game is leaked, the only ones that leak the gameplay are people that have never played a video game in their life? It's like, I never understood that. Why can't someone who's got good quality and is actually a decent gamer leak a game for, I would never leak a game, obviously, but there are people out there that do, but they usually end up being just really, really bad at video games. I don't understand it. But anyways, I saw that footage. I'm not going to spoil any of that stuff here, but I love the way that the game starts, and I love the way how it takes you into everything, and the game just looks so good. A lot of people are saying, oh, it doesn't look good, whatever, and this is mostly PlayStation fanboys that are saying this kind of stuff, because I feel like, listen, I'm a gamer. Like, I love PlayStation, I love Xbox, I love PC, I love it all, right? So I can be on both sides, right? One day I can be, this PlayStation game is absolutely amazing. Like, God of War Ragnarok is my game of my life so far. Like, it's my favorite game of all time, right? And before God of War Ragnarok, God of War 2018 was my game of all time. And before that, GoldenEye 007 was my game of all time from back in 1997. So you can see that I took a big jump from what I liked, which was GoldenEye, kind of stealthy stuff. I loved GoldenEye so much. And then I moved on to this. And, God of War is such a great game, and it's a PlayStation game, right? That's okay. I love all consoles, so I don't understand why people are upset that there's a game for Xbox now. It's not just for Xbox, it's also for PC. But I just don't understand all the hate that this game is getting because it's not on PlayStation, guys. You have so many awesome, amazing games. Why can't there be an amazing game on Xbox, right? Why can't you just say, congrats, Xbox, it looks like you're going to have a fun, amazing game to play, and if they want to enjoy that experience, then go get the Xbox or have a PC that can handle it or something like that, you know. But if this is what happens if you choose one console, then you're stuck to whatever that console has. So that's why I always prefer to try to have everything. Now, I know in my situation it's a little different because I'm lucky enough to be in the position that I'm in because of the years and years that I've worked on this channel to bring it to where it is, that I'm able to get certain things, right? I partnered with Xbox, so they graciously wanted to partner with me first before PlayStation, and they sent me an Xbox, so that's why I have an Xbox. I would have obviously bought it, of course, at some point when I had enough money, but, you know, that's why I have an Xbox. I actually paid for PlayStation because I didn't have a partnership with PlayStation back when the PS5 came out. I actually have a partnership with PlayStation now. I'm part of their PlayStation creators, or what, I don't know what they're called. But so I'm able to get both PlayStation and Xbox. Now, I will say this, when it comes to whatever game that I want to play, if it's a game that's on multiple systems, the first thing I'm always going to select is PC, because PC just allows me to play in the highest fidelity. And fidelity does mean a lot to me. I know that's not necessarily what it means to everybody else, but for me, fidelity and story are very, very important, because I play video games to get sucked into whatever universe that I'm currently in, and to try to forget the mundanes of life and try to get sucked into whatever world these developers create for us. So that's why I have every system, and I love story, and I love gameplay too. Obviously gameplay is very important, but sometimes I like sitting back and watching something unfold, seeing the story unfold, and then me getting to take the controller and then manipulating the story in any way that I can. I love that. So I love games that have character creation. I love games that give you the option of doing stuff. Now, I'm not a big fan of the fact that the character himself or herself does not speak whatsoever. I never understood those types of things. I do want my character to be able to speak, and then me choose the options. You know, so we've got half of that. We can choose the options we want, but there is no voice for your character. However, there is, what do they say, 60,000 lines, I think, in this game. So there's going to be a lot of talking. It's just not going to be from you. So obviously I see where they're going with that, because they want the person to speak the lines, and then it makes them feel like they're the ones talking, you know? But sometimes I just want to sit back with a drink in my hand and some popcorn and let the story unfold. But no, instead I'm going to have to speak every single line instead of just reading it or looking at it. And I'm going to do that. So when you see my playthrough in the Let's Play, obviously I'm going to full-on hardcore roleplay, and I will speak as if I am the character, because, you know, I like to do that kind of stuff. So I understand why Bethesda's never had pretty much their voice the characters in the game. I mean, Oblivion didn't have it. Skyrim didn't have it. I don't think, did Fallout have it? Because I really can't remember, but I'm not really sure. Maybe you guys can answer that for me. So it's understandable how there isn't a voice. You don't have a voice in this, and it's just kind of them talking back to you, and you get to be the voice of the game yourself. That's okay. One of the things that I'm most excited for, and I know that I'm kind of rambling on. If you guys have noticed, if you know this channel, then you know that this channel is not one of those channels that is able to coherently come up with a script and write it down and make sense in a way. My channel has always been about, when I do walkthroughs, I'm explaining what I'm doing, all right? So therefore, I don't need a script, because I can just explain, here, you know, I'm doing this. That's why I do walkthroughs. That's why I love walkthroughs. However, when you live stream, you got to come up with things on your own and yourself, and it kind of gets a little away from me. I'm not good with my own words sometimes, unless I know what's going on, you know? So this game obviously is going to be really fun for me, because it's going to allow me to be able to speak from the heart without thinking of what I'm saying, because everything that happens, it's a Let's Play, right? Everyone knows the difference between a Let's Play and a walkthrough. You know, Starfield is not going to be a walkthrough, so that's why I've not labeled it that. It's going to be a Let's Play, because we are going to play the game together, you and I. We're going to make decisions together. I'm going to allow the audience to join in. We're going to have fun. We're going to explore everything this game has to offer, because it's something that I'm just so freaking excited to get into, and I want to make sure that you all have the same experience that I do. Some of you are not going to be able to play this game. Maybe some of you only have PlayStations. Maybe some of you don't really play games, but you'd love to watch because you like the commentary by the creator, or you just love watching people play video games. For whatever reason that you're going to sit and watch with me, I thank you for taking the time to do that. It really means a lot to me. So I can't wait to have that experience with all of you. And this game is going to be something I'm streaming for a long time. So I want you to be prepared for that, because we are going to be streaming all the time. I'm going to be doing separate videos as well, showcasing different skills, maybe side missions, all that kind of stuff. I really want to have a lot of content for this game, so I'm letting you know right now, the beginning of September is going to be pretty much all Starfield. So, if you're not into that, I do apologize, but this game is exactly what I've always wanted in a video game, and this is what I want to put as much content and stuff out there as I possibly can. Obviously, there'll be other things coming out too. I'll have something special for you in September that I can't talk about, but I'm very, very excited to show some new gameplay of something that no one has seen yet. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be awesome. But some other aspects that I'm really, really excited for this game is the gunplay. So, as I said, I never really liked the gunplay in Fallout series. Obviously, the Elder Scrolls, there was no gunplay. It was more melee type of combat, so it was fun for me. But this, look at this, stealth. We're going to have stealth in this game. There's actually perks for stealth, and I cannot tell you how excited I am because of that. So this is also going to be a stealth playthrough. Any chance that I have to get through these bases without setting an alarm or without getting people to notice me, I will always take that chance. Now, since it's going to be live, sometimes we may fail and have to go guns blazing, but that's what's great about this game, is it gives you that option. And the fact that they're actually showcased stealth, that you can have silencers on, that there's a perk for stealth. Now, listen, all of the Fallout series and the Elder Scrolls games had stealth, right? But it wasn't really something that was thrown at you, right? It was just something you could do if you want. Here, I feel like they've showcased stealth in a way that they've made it to where it seems viable to want to do. And in this situation, why wouldn't you want to do it, right? Why do you want to go through a base, guns a-blazing? First of all, I like to be as real as possible when I play these games. You're in a freaking suit, right? You get shot once, supposedly your suit would be, your air would start leaking, and then you'd probably die pretty quickly. Well, obviously they can't be that real. That's not a simulation. So I like the fact of making it feel like it's a simulation and do my best to not be seen. So you're going to get stealthy gameplay from this channel in pretty much every game that I play. If there's a way to stealth, I'm always going to do that. The exploration that this game has to offer is another thing that's got me super, super excited. So exploration to me is everything in a video game of this size, right? Obviously, there's 1,000 so-called planets or moons that you're going to be able to explore, hundreds of systems, right? At least 100, I think they said. There's going to be places that probably no one's ever been, even though it's not on the level of Elite Dangerous when it comes to how many places you can go. It's still going to be that example of being the first person to step on this, even if there's nothing around, even if this planet is empty as heck. Still, it's going to be fun for me to land on that planet and say, I'm the first person in this game that has ever landed on this planet. That is a cool thing to say. Like, that's one of the things that drew me into Elite Dangerous was, jumping out as far as you can and getting to a point where no one had been to that one, because there's literally so many stars in Elite Dangerous that you're going to eventually land on something that someone has not went to. And then you can name that, and then it becomes yours. And then when other people come across that, it's whatever you named it. Just the same thing that you could do in No Man's Sky. That's a fun aspect of those games that I really enjoy. Another aspect that I know I'm going to enjoy is the shipbuilding. Now, I wouldn't necessarily say when I first heard about how you're going to build ships and create ships and stuff like that, I wasn't a huge fan of, because I was thinking, oh great, then all the ships are going to really look the same. There's just going to be a few differences here and there. But when they went in depth in this deep dive that they did, the first gameplay that they showed, over a year ago, that didn't have me fully on board with the ship customization. But when they showed a little bit deeper here, it really got my attention, because I really do think there's going to be some ships that are going to make themselves be able to look completely different. I mean, they had a freaking, what looked like a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger mech, in here, and you're gonna see it here in a second. But that looks so freaking cool, and there's so many different things you can do. I just wonder how navigating around that ship is gonna be. It's gonna be pretty tough. And are you gonna have to, once you're inside the ship, is it going to be a fully seamless experience? Or we already know that once you're in the bottom of the ship and then you go to get to the main area, you got to go through a loading screen. Is that going to be a loading screen for every section that's higher and higher? Or is it going to be completely open once you're inside? That's yet to be seen. Obviously, that's, the more gameplay, or when it comes out, then we'll find out for ourselves. But this game supposedly is a huge, huge game. Lots of story. I've seen recent interviews of just everyone, all the developers saying how much time they spend in the game. We've seen so many different people say so many different things about the game. Like the game truly starts to begin once the main story is over. Now, people can take that two different ways. And they can say, well, then the game's not fun until you complete it. Most people are not going to complete the story. Let's be honest. If the story is 50 hours long, most people will not complete the story. But that's okay, because this game knows it's more than just the story. It's also about whatever stories you create. There's an endless amount of side missions to do. If you want to go around and be a bounty hunter, that could be your mission. That could be your goal. That could be your story. Go out, do it, have fun, do whatever you want. Be the bad guy, be the good guy, be the hero, be whatever you want to be. And that's something about these types of games that I love. I'm not a huge fan of open world games, because it gets to the point where you've done everything within a certain amount of time and then there's nothing else to do. However, there are certain instances where that formula actually can work out very, very well. And I feel like this is a situation where it can, because every single time you go into space, there's going to be that moment for me, right? And if I have that every single time, there's no way this game can get boring, and then one of the things you can do, I heard that there's a New Game Plus mode, and they haven't spoiled anything about the New Game Plus, but they said it's unique and it's different than any other New Game Plus that has come before in other games. It doesn't really make a lot of sense for Bethesda to have a New Game Plus in this type of game. So it's actually got me wondering, okay, well then what are they going to do that's going to make this feel pretty cool? And I think that they can do it, right? I believe in Bethesda to be able to do something like that. If they say that there's going to be a unique and awesome reason for this, then it's got me super, super excited to see what else can be there outside of just the story. The base creation, the ship customization, the space combat looks really good. The fact that you can shoot specific parts of ships so that way you can board them. I don't even know yet if there's actually any spacewalking, and I don't think there is. I feel like if there was spacewalking, that would be one of the things that they would show off. And it seems like there's not, because if you've noticed, everything that has to do with getting from one ship to another is all about docking. So there's derelicts from what I heard, and my guess is the docking situation will always be available if a ship is blown up or something like that. Obviously, there are instances where gravity might not be on the ship, but I still think you would get on there through docking, and I don't think there's any space kind of yourself going outside of your spaceship or anything like that. That would be really cool if there was, so I'll be pleasantly surprised if there was, but I don't think there is. Now, you can land on any part of the planet, right? You can just go over the planet, look at a place, and just click on it and land. Will there be anything around there besides resources? Probably not. I think they said 10% of these worlds that they've created actually have sustainable content. So the rest of the 90% is going to be just environments for you to take a look at, to do mining resources, look at the beauty of the games. Like, you might see 2 stars, you might see some planets in the distance and that type of stuff. If you're someone like me who loves the visuals, then that's going to be something really, really, really cool. And I've been wanting to do a video like this for a little while. And, like I said, I ramble on. I'm not very good at making content that's scripted. I like to get into scripted content sometime soon, because I think that's adds another layer to the channel, because walkthroughs aren't like they used to be, right? A lot of people used to love to watch walkthroughs, but nowadays it's all about scripted content. It's all about either Let's Plays or scripted content. So I do want to get into the scripted content. So hopefully you guys will stay tuned for some of that. I want to do some reviews of games. I'm definitely going to be reviewing this game. So after we're done playing, or after I'm done with the main story, you could definitely 100%, I promise you, I will do a review of this game. It's going to be obviously way later than everybody else's review. Luckily enough, I was able to get a copy of this game early, so I actually have the game. However, the game doesn't start, or the game won't let me play it until August 31st at 8 p.m. Right, so that is when the game will actually open up for me to play, just like everyone else. But I was able to get a copy of the game from Bethesda, so thank you to them for that. Otherwise, I was about to spend $100 because I know there's the Xbox version, but I want the PC version bought because I want to be able to partake in the mods, and we know that the mods are going to be something so amazing for this game. All Bethesda games, or most of the newer Bethesda games, have mods. And well, pretty much every Bethesda game has mods, but Bethesda has now encouraged mods. They've said you can literally build planets. You can make your own planets in the game. You'll be able to make space travel different. You'll be able to do all this type of stuff. So I'm really looking forward to what the modding community can come up with. I think mods are even going to be on the Xbox as well, because you can do that with Fallout on the Xbox. So it's possible that they're going to have mods for Xbox as well. I will be showcasing some of the Xbox footage as well. I might do my own like personal playthrough on the Xbox where I'm having my own type of character doing whatever I want on the Xbox, and the character that I have on PC will be the one that I show to all of you guys, you know. That's probably what's going to happen. I will have a stream at 8 p.m. on the 31st. It's already on there, so make sure you click that notification bell on the stream to notify you when it's live, so you're ready to go. Get your popcorn ready. It's going to be a long stream. It might go through all the night because it's a late night, and we're going to wake up and do it all again on the 1st. So I'm super excited for that. So thank you guys for tuning in here. I know I'm kind of rambling and spieling on with some gameplay in the background because I just wanted to get my thoughts out there of what I'm excited for. What are you excited for in this game? Let me know in the comments below. Are there things that you've seen that scare you? Are there things that you've seen that make you super, super excited? Put all those in the comments below and let me know. There's so many things to be excited for, and there's a lot of things that still questions left unanswered, and they don't want them out there until the game is released because they want you to experience them. I'm not upset that the game is in 30 frames. I totally understand it. This is a massive game, one of the biggest games ever. This is not like one little open world. I say little, but you know, they've built worlds, right? I can understand why it's 30 FPS because they want a solid experience. They don't want lags. They don't want things like that. They want a solid experience. But that's why I'm playing the PC version, so I can get 4K, 60 frames at least on my RTX 4090. So you're going to see the highest of quality for this game. And I'll also show off the Xbox version as well. So again, let me know in the comments below. Are you excited? Are you happy with what you've seen so far and you're ready to dive in, or are you ready to just watch? Let me know. Thank you to all the supporters on the channel. It means the world to me to have you all here. And without you guys, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. So thank you to the members. Thank you to the Patreons. Thank you to everyone that donates, leaves super thanks, uses the link in the description, which is the best way to donate if you do. All of you continue to help this channel make just enough to keep going, right? Because that's all I really want to do. I've never wanted to be more than just... I've never wanted to make more than just enough to be able to do what I love to do, which is to bring these games to you guys as much as possible. So, great year for gaming. I can't wait. It's going to get really, really busy. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Love you all. Take care of yourselves. And please comment below and let me know what you think of the game and what you're excited for. We'll see you next time. Peace out.